The Raiders O-line is still garbage. They will be garbage. They will forever be garbage. And I can't believe that they drafted a number one running back without a line. And the Cowboys defense is really bad. They lost to the Bears. The Bears were winless until last week. And I think the downfall of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys should really be studied in the history books. Hey everyone, welcome back to Encinas Unfiltered. We got week 4 fantasy football. So I got some big news for everybody. Let me go look up here. We are officially YouTube partners, and I don't think I told everybody. So we are officially YouTube partners. That just means not necessarily like the ads portion of YouTube, but more of like we can have memberships. So we have 4 levels of our membership, from $1 all the way to 15. There's different perks such as member only chat, member only polls, early access to new videos, member shorts, member shout outs. I'm going to make a Discord. Also, we have discounted merchandise, one-on-one fantasy advice. And then if we have anybody in the $15 tier, we're going to do members only videos and members only live streams. So that is something very exciting. We've been working very hard towards that. We're here, and let's continue to grow. This week, we got week 4 fantasy football. As always, we're going to go through our week 3 recap, or we're going to talk about some of our boom and our bust, PPR format, of course, at quarterback, running back, tight end, and receiver. And then we're going to go over some injuries around the league that happened this past week, and there's quite a bit. Then after that, Kolby's going to get into some waiver wire pickups. Then we're going to get into week 4 football, which is going to be our starts and sits. And just a reminder, because I still keep getting messages of people saying, why aren't you starting certain players? Your guys like Lamar, your guys like Saquon, you're starting them. We're not going to include them. We're looking at some mid-tier guys in our starts and sits list. Next, we're going to do some trade targets. It's going to be very quick, buy low, sell high. Then we got week 4 football bets, so money line, total points, or over under as they're called, and the spread plus or minus. We got some football news, and then we got some hot takes. So let's get right into it. All right, week 3 boomer bust. So the QB booms this week. We have Caleb, first time on the list. I think it might be the last time on the list. He scored 29.1 points. Big game. Boo-boo Dallas defense. Next, we had Jalen Hurts at 29 points. Lost Lane Johnson, started throwing the ball. A.J. Brown was a little viable this week. Then we had Lamar Jackson at 27 points. And then we had Geno Smith at 26.1 because he was playing from behind, but we'll get into that later. Bust, Joe Flacco, 4.7 points. Not a big surprise. Michael Penix, 5.8 points. Also not another surprise. X and I have been telling you how bad he is. Russell Wilson, 7.1 points. He's come down back to his median. And breaking news, he's been benched this week for Jackson Dart. So not a surprise there. And Jake Browning, and I'll take that one on the chin because I told you guys to pick him up. He had 7.9 points. Boom. All right, running back. Jonathan Taylor for the second straight week at the top of the boom list at 32.8 points. David Montgomery, 29.4 points. Are we last year's Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator of the Lions again? I don't know.
Monty
but
baby.
He boomed. Jameer Gibbs, 26.9 points. We haven't seen 2 running backs do that probably since the Lions last year. Then Omarion Hampton finally showed out at 24.9 points with the injury of Najee Harris. Bust, Chase Brown, 6 points. Genty, 6.3 points, as well as Alvin Kamara at 6.3 points. I know that hurts X because that's his favorite guy right there. And then James Conner at 6.7 points because he got hurt and he's out for the season. Trey Benson owners, it's very nice for you guys. Receiver boom, Trey Tucker at 40.9 points. That's wild. I don't think we're going to see that again out of him, but
no, that's a one-time deal.
Anybody who does those daily fantasy, DraftKings, FanDuel, and you picked him up, good for you. Make your money. Garrett Wilson, 24.4 points. Cortland Sutton, 23.8 points. I think X was on here talking crap about him last week. A.J. Brown, 22.9 points. Hey, might not be bad to hang on to him. Receiver bust, T. Higgins, 2.5 points. Jerry Jeudy, 2.7 points. And Malik Neighbors at 3.3. Man, how the mighty have fallen, man. That's unfortunate. And Zay Flowers at 3.3 points. All right, last we're going to get into some tight ends. We have Hunter Henry at 29. Big boom. Mark Andrews, 27.1 points. Coming back. He does this every year. He's finally back. Jake Ferguson, 21.2. Dalton Kincaid at 17.6. Go for it.
Who remember me saying you should start Jake Ferguson last week? Because that was my start last week. So if you listened, very happy. Had to throw that out there.
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan, so a little biased there, but
he's a dog.
Yeah. All right. And then I was like, I don't know if I said it, but Dalton Kincaid at 17.6. bust. We had Colson Loveland at only 4.1 points, and then he got hurt. Johnny Smith at 5.3 points. Tucker Kraft at 5.9, and then he got hurt. And then Travis Kelce at 6.6. This ain't his year. He's a little distracted. Next, we're going to get into some injuries. We have James Conner out for the year, his ankle. Colson Loveland, his hip. He should be back. CeeDee Lamb is out for a couple weeks from what I read. His ankle, it could be this week is what I'm hearing, but I don't believe that. I think it's a little fake news there. I think it's like more likely 2 to 4 weeks. Kenny Clark, his ankle, he was out of the game. Trayvon Diggs, shoulder. I don't know if he's coming back. Derek Stingley Jr. was out for an abdomen. Najee Harris is out for the year for an ankle. I think he tore his Achilles, if I'm correct. Tyrone Tracy is out for a couple weeks with a shoulder injury. Lane Johnson, the left tackle for the Eagles, is out with a neck injury. Nick Bosa, ACL, again, out for the year. Yeah, gotta love it. As a Niners fan, you gotta love it. Every year. Then you have Mike Evans. He's out for a couple weeks with a hamstring injury. Luckily, this is a low grade, but still could be 2 to 4 weeks. And then we have Scary Terry out with a quad. I don't know if he's going to play this week, but I believe last time I checked, he was uncertain. So those are some injuries. And obviously, the ones that we talked about before are still in effect, like freaking Burrow and Purdy and everybody else. So, all right, Kolby, give us your waiver wire pickups for this week.
All right, so waiver wire pickups real quick this week is going to be, well, first I'm going to do some streamers. So if you had Dak Prescott everywhere like I do, I'm really don't want to play him anymore. I'm sure there's a lot of people that agree with me. So I'm looking at, it's pretty nasty. Geno Smith, yes, he just threw Trey Tucker 3 touchdowns. Once Genty starts warming up a little bit, get some play action going. So Geno Smith, like X said in the beginning of the year, he's Mr. Consistent. So if you need to play matchup based, Marcus Mariota may not play depending on how Jaden Daniels, but he had a lot of design runs and he had 20 points last week. If he does play, I'm probably going to pick him up and play him. Next one's pretty obvious, Trade Benson. I've actually been trying to trade for Trade Benson from Rod's wife for like 3 weeks now, and she wouldn't budge. And now, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But
she
also
panned out well, dude.
Look out for Amari DiMaccardo. He's back up to Trey Benson now, but he gets a lot of receiving work. So if you're in a deep league looking for a spot start to get a couple catches, a little bit of receiving yards, may be good for 8 to 9 points on a weekly basis. Bashal Tuden, if you guys have not picked him up yet, he's been on our waiver wire for the past 3 weeks. He's now 60% rostered, so he's still out there. 6 carries last week and another touchdown. And then I just want to point out some handcuffs. So as we see with James Conner, if you had the handcuff, you're set. So some handcuffs, Braylon Allen, Miles Sanders, Bashal Tooth, like I just mentioned, Ollie Gordon. And then the last one is Woody Marks, who I'm actually kind of interested in picking him up in a couple of different places. His snap share went up from 11% to 48% from week 1 to week 3. So the Texans are starting to work him in a little bit. And we'll have to wait and see what Joe Mixon is doing. So I really like Woody Marks and his snap percentage. And some wide receivers, I just talked about him. Trey Tucker, 8 catches, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. You could chase it. I mean, if you really need someone, you may not be the guy, but if you're good at wide receiver and you just want to see, hey, maybe there's a little bit more of a consistent thing, not 145 yards and 3 touchdowns, but the target-wise, he's getting a lot of targets. So to keep an eye on that. Another guy that's been on the waiver wire pickups for the last 2 or 3 weeks is Alec Amaner. Scored another touchdown, has a lot of first read targets, and has over a 20% target share for Cam Ward. So if Cam Ward starts heating up, starts getting used to NFL, he's going to be very good at.
A quick little side note. Brian Callahan has now been relieved of his play calling.
Yes.
So we are going to expect a little bit different of a Titans offense, which will be good. I still don't expect Callahan to make it through. If he does make it through the season, he's going to be fired.
Could be good or it could be worse. So
no, it can't be worse. I mean, as long as the coach understands and knows the rules of the game, it's already an upgrade. So
good point. I like that. And the last wide receiver is Sterling Shepard. Yes, he is old. Mike Evans is out. He'll be the 1 or 2 for Baker Mayfield, and I personally think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and should get a lot of targets. So we'll see. And him and Baker have been together for a long time, so I think they still have that connection. Moving on, tight ends. Hunter Henry caught 8 of 11 targets, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Coming pretty familiar with Drake May. My start of the week last week, he dropped about 20 points on the Steelers. and seems to have a really good connection going with sophomore QB. Next guy, similar situation as Sterling Shepard, is K. Dotton. Obviously, Evans is still hurt, so it's really just going to allow more targets to be passed around to the pass catchers. And we've seen what Auten can do when they're missing a core wide receiver. We saw what he did last year when Godwin was out. And the last tight end, which I mentioned last week, is Isaiah Likely. His comeback is approaching, and it's only going to be a matter of time before everyone starts picking him up, or no one picks him up. He gets a lot of points his first 2, 3, maybe even his first week, and then he's gone. So might as well pick him up, stash him for a little bit if you got an extra spot on your bench. A couple defenses I want to highlight that are somewhat a little bit of a lower roster percentage across the leagues. We have Chargers versus the Giants this week, and Jackson Dart. So that'll be very interesting. I'm surprised they didn't wait till they play the Saints the week after, but it is what it is. The Lions versus Cleveland, the Patriots versus Carolina, and the Commanders versus the Falcons. So those are some low percentage roster teams or defenses across all platforms. So I just say keep a lookout for those and try to add them and see what they do. And that's it for me on the waiver wire pickups.
Next, we're going to get into our week 4 starts and sits at each position. Starting, I got Herbert at New York Giants. This is an easy game this week. New York Giants are going to be playing Jackson Dart. I think Herbert's absolutely going to light up that defense. And, I mean, he's been doing it, so why not keep rocking with him? Sitting, Kolby's going to disagree with me here after what he just said, but I'm sitting Baker Mayfield against Philly. Philly has a strong D. Tampa Bay is without Mike Evans. Yeah, it's going to be more opportunities for Sterling Shepard, Ibuka, and K. Dotton, but I just don't think he gets it done against the Eagles defense. I think Eagles defense is top 5 right now. So, X, you got starting at quarterback this week.
At quarterback, we got Patrick Mahomes going against Baltimore. The only reason why I add Patrick Mahomes in mine is because I do not like Patrick Mahomes as a fantasy quarterback. However, Baltimore's defense, as we've seen in the past 3 weeks, has been absolute garbage. They love to give away points. And Patrick Mahomes, obviously, I think that the Chiefs are finally feeling the effects of not having a true number 1 receiver. But Patrick Mahomes, I think, is going to have a good game against Baltimore's defense. And Baltimore's offense either is going to get stopped quick or get off the field quick, which is going to give Patrick Mahomes a lot of opportunities. Sitting, you're going to sit Dak Prescott against Green Bay. Green Bay is just too tough of a defense. Green Bay is going to get a lot of pressure. Dak is going to panic and make a lot of questionable throws, which is really going to pretty much throw everything off. And so this week, I would not feel comfortable starting Prescott.
On a side note, I'm taking Micah Parsons at over 1.5 sacks. Just a little tidbit there. All right, Kolby, who you guys starting at quarterback this week?
So my start of the week at quarterback is Bo Nix. We just saw Old Man Wentz just light him up last week, so I expect Bo Nix to do the same exact thing. Then I'm sitting Michael Penix Jr. Now, they think he's bad. I don't think he's as bad as they say, as X and Rod say. But I do think the Falcons are realizing the only game that they won is when Bijan ran the ball all over the place. Yes, he threw for 300 yards that first game, and London had 15 targets, but they lost. So hopefully they realize if they want to win, they're going to have to run the ball, and that means Penix is not going to be relevant.
Yeah, I mean, X and I looked at each other. I just think we thinks Michael Penix is bad, man. He's just not it. I think Atlanta's best shot at winning was putting in Kirk O'Chains, and when they put in Kirk O'Chains, he went 5 for 7. Granted, it was at the end of the game.
I think Cousins.
Granted, they lost to Carolina, but I just, I don't think he's it. But anyways, we'll get into running backs. All right, starting at running back, I got Amari Hampton at New York Giants. You see a trend here with my Chargers picks. Najee Harris is out for the year, so I think it's very obvious Hampton's going to get all the rushing yards and any receptions. He's not all the receptions. Maybe restate that. Amari Hampton's going to be utilized a lot in the backfield as for a swing route or for dump offs and rushing the ball. He's going to be the main back there. He's not splitting carries no more, so I really like him this week against a really bad New York Giants team. Sitting. So originally, I put Lions running backs versus Cleveland, and granted, this was before the Monday night game. I still feel strongly about that. Cleveland shut down Green Bay's ground game, and I don't think anyone here is going to say that Josh Jacobs isn't a great running back or a top 15 running back, let's say. But I think Jahmyr Gibbs has the better option of the two. I don't like Montgomery this week because he's mostly a rushing rather than a receiving back. I think Jahmyr Gibbs has more upside, just the fact that he can get some PPR usage or some receptions this week. but I think they both go under their projection. So obviously, if you have Gibbs, you're going to start him. But if you have Montgomery, I'd look somewhere else as a flex running back or a RB2. Actually, you got starting a running back this week.
Oh, man, I never thought I would say it, but you're going to be starting Chuba Hubbard against New England.
Told you.
Look, dude, this is probably going to be the one time and watch this blow up in my face, dude, which is why it's never going to happen again. But New England, they do have a good pass rush, but their run defense is not really all of the greatest, in my opinion. I think Chuba Hubbard is going to have a really good game. I think he's going to see a lot of increase in carries. And I see this game kind of flip-flopping, not really high scoring. So that is going to give a lot of 3 and outs. So that's going to give Hubbard a lot of opportunities since it's not going to be high scoring. If a game is not high scoring, coaches love to run the ball, clean out the clock, and do all that. So it's going to give Hubbard a lot of opportunities. Who you want to sit? Javonte Williams against Green Bay, dude. That pass rush is just too good. The run stop is there. The only reason why I would be okay with you still playing Javonte Williams is just for the fact that Green Bay's offense sucks so bad that Javonte might get a lot of opportunities. But realistically, this early in the season, I probably wouldn't trust him. You would probably be more comfortable putting in another running back just for this week.
Yeah, he definitely has big bust potential written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kolby, who you guys starting at running back this week?
Starting running back is Jordan Mason at Pittsburgh. We saw Braylon Allen just actually destroy them. We saw Kenneth Walker destroy them. So I think Jordan Mason, bell cow for the Vikings. We're going to see Old Man wins probably again. He's going to go out there, sling it, and then open up the run game for Jordan Mason. So I'm really expecting him to have a great game. Then I'm sitting ETN against the 49ers. Kind of what I mentioned earlier. Tootin is slowly making his way into those snaps, into those backfield carries and receptions. So I'm trying to stay away from 50-50 split carries unless it's Gibbs and Montgomery.
All right, next, we got receivers. This week, I'm starting Ibuka versus Philly. He's the only receiver left that Baker can throw to. To me, Sterling Shepard's kind of whatever. Is he going to get more targets? Yes. Is Baker going to be playing from behind? Most likely. But I think because he's going to get a lot of the targets and he has the biggest potential, especially with Chris Godwin being out, I think he is the play because he's the only guy there. You're sitting Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Seattle. I don't know if anybody watched that 49er game last week, but the San Francisco 49ers corners and safeties are not as good as Seattle's, and Marvin Harrison dropped a lot of wide open balls. It was granted Fred Warner was on him, so I mean I guess I would be scared too, but he dropped a lot of balls, and then Seattle's just, I think they're just too good, and I don't really trust them this week. I don't trust Kyler either, on the side note. X, who you starting at receiver this week?
At receiver, we are starting the boy. I like him a lot. The boy Waddle going against the New York Jets. I like Waddle's potential in this one. The Jets are still an absolute mess. Miami's defense isn't going to do all that great either to stop much of the Jets' offense. I still don't like Fields, but he is good enough, I think, to kind of go either 3 and out or a quick score, which is going to give Miami's offense a lot of opportunities. And they're obviously, as we all know, since we've all seen the Miami Dolphins play, they are going to get down very quickly, and they're going to have to throw, which is going to give Waddle a lot of options.
Is Fields playing this week? I just want to point that out. Do we know?
Even if
Kolby, you're the Fields guy.
He's not. Yeah,
Still
you're our Fields
questionable.
expert.
Okay.
Still questionable. Well, even if he doesn't, then it'll be quick 3 and outs to where Waddle's going to get a lot of opportunities, in my opinion. Sitting, I still believe in the boy. He made me a believer, but I still believe in him. But this week, you're gonna have to sit Nab. The boy Nabbers. You're gonna have to sit him against the Chargers. Chargers are a really good team, in my opinion. I like their defense. They fly around the ball. They tire you out. They're a good defense, and I think Nabbers is going to pretty much get shut down again. which is unfortunate, but is what it is.
I think that biggest factor in that game is going to be if Justin Dart can get him the ball or not. I mean, I think that's what we all have to see, right?
Well, the problem
So-
is every time there's a rookie quarterback, especially a defensive-minded coach like Harbaugh, he's just going to blitz the hell out of him, and he's just going to panic. Darts is just going to panic, which
sure.
is what every rookie quarterback does, and it's fine. It's part of the growing pains, but every coach knows you just blitz a rookie quarterback and you just watch him panic. That's all you got to do.
That's fair. All right, Kolby, who's starting a receiver this week? It's all good.
Okay, X. I'm curious. I'm just gonna ask you a question, or ask you this player or neighbors, and I'm just curious because I'm on the ropes on these ones. Okay, so neighbors or Egbuka this week. Egbuka against Philly. Neighbors versus Chargers. Who do you got? Who would you start?
I would go Ibuka just because Ibuka is now creating chemistry with Mayfield. Yes, it is a good defense, but Philly's offense is going to either score quick and not really burn out the clock. So Ibuka's going to have a lot of opportunities. Philly's going to also score quite a bit of points, which is going to give Ibuka a lot of opportunities. Ibuka is now pretty much the number one. Chris Godwin might come back, so that might be a little helpful. But Ibuka's shown that even in tight coverage, he'll still get the ball. So in my opinion, I would probably go that route. Malik Neighbors does have the better matchup. I agree. But I would still go Ibuka.
What about Adunze versus the Raiders or Neighbors? That one's tough.
Yeah. I would probably go Neighbors because I believe more in Neighbors' skills than I do Adunze. And Max Crosby could possibly get a lot of pressure and screw that up.
All right, one more. Swear this isn't a trap.
All right.
Malik Neighbors or Quentin Johnston against the Giants.
Oh, okay, dude. That was actually a good one. I would actually go Quentin Johnson, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a believer this year. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm kind of a believer this year.
Oh my gosh.
Because Quentin Johnston's going against who? Again, the Giants?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, dude. Of course you're gonna play him.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I just want to ask that.
I'm just 100%. I don't know why, dude. For some reason, Quentin Johnston so far hasn't failed me, which he normally does by this time. So I gotta buy into him. I like Malik Neighbors 100%, dude. I'm totally sold on that kid now. But yeah,
So starting wide receiver this week, I got Ricky Pearsall. We just saw him go off against the Cardinals, and maybe a little biased. I may have him in a few leagues, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing, and hopefully he's breaking out. Then sitting, I'm sitting DK Metcalf against the Vikings. We saw him. Oh gosh, we saw him against we saw the Minnesota Vikings just destroy Jamar Chase, made him fumble. Some options you could pivot to that maybe you drafted a little later or picked up would be Egbuka, Adunze, and as I asked X earlier, I'd probably play Johnson over him because of the targets and just the touchdown. He may catch a touchdown. He may get eight catches, 7 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. Just stuff like that I think is more consistent, those three guys, than waiting for DK to pop off with Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Next, we got starting at tight end. I got Hunter Henry versus Carolina. Carolina recently hasn't been very good, I guess only against the Atlanta Falcons, but he is Drake May's safety net, and he exploded last week, and I believe in week 1 as well, not so much in week 2, but he's becoming a reliable option, so I really like him there against Carolina. And you're sitting Kyle Pitts against Washington. Penix sucks. X, you can back me on this one?
Yeah.
Penix is trash.
horrible.
He's trash. I don't care what anybody says. Drake London, Pitts, Bijan's the only fancy reliable guy there. And X doesn't think so, but I will stand behind everybody else and say he's still viable for fantasy reasons. But until they figure out that quarterback situation, and maybe if Kirko comes in, then I'm downgrading all these players probably for the rest of the year, unless Michael Penix can prove me otherwise. X, who you starting at tight end this week?
At tight ends, we got the boy Tucker Kraft. going against Dallas. I like Kraft. Yes, Kraft did get a little bit injured. But Kraft is a guy that really came in last year, and he's been doing pretty good. He had a little bit of a crap game. That's totally fine. Get it out of the way. I think he will be a little bit of the shining star on that Green Bay's offense for a little bit until the receivers start to click a little bit more, and maybe that line blocks for Love a little bit better. Sitting, don't buy into the hype. You're sitting Andrews against Casey. You are not.
Wild.
No.
Wild.
No, you're
That's
not
wild.
doing it. You're not doing it. You're not doing it.
Oh
I am
my
the tight
God.
end guru, dude. I don't understand why you're questioning me. Watch
I will always
watch
question you.
watch next episode. Watch it. You're gonna have Andrews on the bust. You're gonna have him on there, and I want you to say, X, I'm sorry I ever doubted you and your amazing abilities to understand the tight end position at football. And I'll be like, you know what, dude? I don't accept. You freaking heathen. But anyways, you're going to sit Andrews against KC. They're trying to get Derrick Henry back into shape, which Derrick Henry does as he goes on. And they're going to try and get their wide receivers more involved. Andrews is not going to be the guy. All right. You take away his last second little garbage points, he wouldn't be what he was. Okay. So don't buy into the hype.
That's wild. All right, Kolby. Who you got started at tight end this week?
I'm shaking my head right now, just real quick. I'm shaking my head because I was down by 5 points in my fantasy league. Big money league. Dave Montgomery runs it in. I'm up by 5. I text the group chat and I say, hey, if Mark Andrews catches, there's no way he catches a garbage touchdown right now. But 20 seconds left, catches it, and he beats me. And I can't stop hearing it, so I'm sorry. That's why I was shaking my head. It was just insane. But yeah, my starting tight end this week is my boy Juwan Johnson against the Bills. He's just a target monster. Target monster.
Bro,
That's all I'm looking for.
Juwan Johnson, brother.
Yep,
he
target
loves
monster.
him.
Yep, he's the beast.
Who's on the bus
sitting
this week?
Johnson. Sitting this week, not Johnson, I don't think. I'm sitting Goddard against the
Smith.
Yeah, I'm sitting Goddard against the Buccaneers. Pretty simple. I think the Eagles are going to try to run the ball a lot. And then if that doesn't work, it's going to be the A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith show. So, yeah, I'm sitting Goddard.
All right. Last week got our defenses. This week, I'm starting Buffalo versus New Orleans. New Orleans is terrible. Who's worse than the Falcons? Probably the New Orleans Saints. I will say, granted, they're doing better than what I thought. Okay, the Saints have thrown the ball. Spencer Rattler, surprisingly, is the starting quarterback. But Buffalo's absolutely going to annihilate them, and it's not even a here nor there. That's what's going to happen. I mean, we also said that about the Packers and the Browns. But you're starting Buffalo, great matchup. You're sitting them Cowgirls. I mean, I don't know who else would tell you that. I think they're droppable. I think their defense is probably worse than the New Orleans Saints. Their defense might be, I don't know who's worse than the New Orleans Saints. Anybody? Any takers? What's
Titans.
the worst defense in the league?
No, Titans have a good defense.
Probably Cincinnati. Okay, I don't know if I'd go that far. Maybe.
Old man wins.
Baltimore.
Old man wins.
Baltimore's defense is pretty bad. Tampa Bay's defense is pretty bad. I would go those.
Either way, I'm setting Cowgirls versus Green Bay. Green Bay is just going to annihilate them. And even though Jordan Love made a couple mental errors and their offense is as good as we thought, Josh Jacobs is going to have a day. I'm calling that now. That's not even a prediction. That's a spoiler. So, all right, X, who you starting at defense this week?
So defense, I'm going to start Philly against Tampa Bay. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to put a lot of points on the board. If anything, they definitely won't get higher than 21, but I'm assuming it's going to be 14 at average, maybe. Philly's defense is good. They're out Evans. Chris Godwin might come back. Ibuka's kind of about the only thing they got going on. Their run game can't get going. Philly's going to run out the clock and not have to put their defense in bad situations. So whenever I'm picking defenses, I'm always looking at how well the offense does at burning the clock, how long they're going to keep the ball. So Philly is always normally a pretty good pick there. Sitting, you're going to sit Washington against Atlanta. I don't like I don't like Washington's offense right now. You got Scary Terry injured. You got Marcus Mariota, who I like the guy, but he is capable of doing 3 and outs a lot. And it's just going to be going back and forth. I think Washington's going to put their defense in bad situations. 100%. You guys can laugh, you guys can hate, but watch.
Bro, you and I have just been shitting, and I'm leaving that in there. We can cuss.
Yeah.
It's fine. You just can't do it all the time. We don't like Atlanta, and you're over here telling me that you're going to sit Washington's defense against Atlanta, who lost to the Panthers?
What do you
who
mean,
was
dude?
arguably the worst team in the NFL
Dude, I'm partially agreeing with you guys that Bijan might actually do something, and all of a sudden you guys want to go against it, dude. If I say anything about Bijan, you guys always do the opposite, dude. If I said Bijan sucks, you guys are like, oh, Bijan's great. Now I finally say, you know what? Bijan might be relevant, and you guys are like, oh, what the hell? Like, dude, make up your mind.
It's the rest of the team. It's not just Bijan. It's not just Bijan. It's the fact that Michael Penix is trash. So Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Mooney, all these guys are not getting the ball. If the Washington defense knows that Bijan's going to run the ball or catch the ball, they're just going to stick it on him, and that's it.
Yeah, everybody knew that Derrick Henry was going to run the ball, but guess what? I mean, me compared
he just fumbles
Derrick
it now.
Henry and
so
Bijan,
that's all he does.
Dude, just wait, just wait.
All
That's all I'm saying.
All right, Kolby, who you got starting at defense this week?
All right, so it's gonna be a little weird, but I'm starting the Lions against the Browns. I don't care who the quarterback's gonna be. They're gonna throw an interception. They're gonna fumble it. I am a little scared of Quinshon Judkins, but yeah, there's gonna be a ball that's fumbled, and they're gonna get a ton of sacks. And then on the other side, I am sitting the Browns defense against the Lions. Hot take maybe a little bit, but the Lions are gonna score. The Lions are gonna score. Jared Goff's gonna be Jared Goff. Raw's gonna be. They have one of the most overpowered offenses in the league. They're gonna score, and everybody's gonna be like, "Holy crap!" They probably shouldn't have lost to the Packers in Week 1. It's just their first week without Ben Johnson. But I think the Lions are gonna start picking it up a little bit, and they're gonna show everyone why they are Super Bowl contenders this week against the Browns. Even though I guess that's not a big deal, but their defense is good. What are you pulling up?
Wild. Sorry.
What are you pulling up?
You saw his face light up, didn't you?
I was about to go wild, and I was about to say you're wild for thinking that, but I was instantly humbled because Browns are ranked 22 in the defense for fantasy reasons, so I'll give it to you. However, what I will say is that this is a very big trap game. The Lions are going to win. I think the Lions can get the job done. That's not what I'm saying, but Cleveland's defense is great. It's, in my opinion, maybe not on fantasy points, but they're top 5, man. Myles Garrett, Ward, like you have great players on that team. So I would just be very careful about maybe not necessarily Cleveland defense, but that game in general is a very big trap game written all over it. And I think it's going to be way closer than we think because we thought the Packers were going to blow them out.
Who has a better offense than the Lions, in your opinion? Is better. They have Laporta. They got Amon-Ra. They got James Williams, a deep threat. They got 2 1,000-yard rusher. Who's their tight end?
I don't care about the tight end. The Rams' offense is better than the Lions' offense, and they don't really use Laporta that much.
Laporta's just running off name right now.
Laporta caught 3 third and long catches for a third down conversion last night that led to 2 scoring drives. So I'd have to disagree. I'd have to disagree. That dude caught 2 or 3 very important third down catches.
Laporta before this past week wasn't doing anything. I mean, he was there. He was present.
Laporta,
but
week 1.
He's been good since his rookie year.
Don't look at week 1. Don't look at week 1, though.
Okay. Honestly, the week 1 was saving him. He's got 5 and 7 points. So you might want to look at week 1.
But I'm not talking about fancy-wise. I'm just saying, like, they're one of the most overpowered offenses in the league.
And he's got a nasty-ass, like, Mario Luigi-looking mustache, dude. That's nasty.
Okay, top 2. I'll give it to you. The Rams. The Rams might be up there, top 2.
Or Dallas.
Oh, Rams are definitely up there.
And that hurts me to say it. Dallas might be. If healthy, yeah. They have a great offensive line.
They're not healthy.
I know, but I'm just saying. And I would put them at 3.
You know what? I probably wouldn't throw
Detroit
Dallas
Lions
up
week
there.
1 was trash.
I probably wouldn't throw Dallas up there because Dallas would lose out on the running backs.
Dude, Javonte Williams has not been bad, and that hurts me to say. He's been very
been
good.
bad. I have him in like 2 leagues, but all I'm saying is running back. When you're talking about top ones, Lions have the 2-headed beast, right? Then, nonetheless, too, the Rams have Kyron Williams, solid as fuck. So I'm not throwing Javonte Williams.
I think they're
out there.
1A, 1B,
Okay.
1B, 1A.
Okay,
Sorry
who
for the long
has
discussion,
the best running back in the NFC right now?
In the NFC,
Eagles.
In the NFC based on fantasy points.
Eagles.
Based on fantasy
Based
points?
off fantasy, I don't know.
Statistics. That's what fantasy points. Statistics.
It's I don't know. It's like Williams is pretty high up there. Fonte Williams. Oh, yeah, duh, McCaffrey. You know, he's kind of in the back of my
Okay.
mind because, you
He gets
know,
hurt
I'm
every year.
just
It's
waiting for him
coming.
to
He's
get
gonna get
hurt,
injured.
and
It's
Yeah,
coming.
I'm just waiting
But I'm
for
just
it, so
saying.
I
That's all
don't
we're
want to
waiting
like
for.
just get attached.
I think the way I'm looking at it is that Kyron Williams is the guy who's always available. David Montgomery's been hurt. I can see him getting hurt again. I think the Lions have a great offense, but week 1 they got shut down. So I would like to see them play a really good defense again because Green Bay stopped them. So I think that's where I'm at with them, and I don't know if they're pretenders yet. I mean, they're going to make playoffs. Let me re-clarify that. Like, they're going to make playoffs. I just don't know how good their offense is without Ben Johnson. We're going to see. But you can do it
See
against
this
bad
weekend,
teams.
baby.
So,
See this weekend.
all right. Based on some community feedback, we have a new section for you today. It's called Trade Targets. So we're week 4 of fantasy football. Trades are probably starting to get on the rise, right, Kolby? Kolby over here is a trade master without revealing any kind of insider information or what's the word I'm looking for? Behind the
Collusion.
scenes. I don't know.
I'm not. I
There
don't
is
do
some collusion.
I don't
He
do
might
collusion.
be a trade thief.
I'm a very ethical
Might be a
person.
master trade thief.
I
Anyways.
accept bad trades. I don't send bad trades. Anyway.
Hey, you know what? That's fair. I ain't even gonna be mad at you for that. That's fair.
But so some of the members of the community asked if we could do some trade targets, and I think that's a great idea. So we went ahead and added this little section to the show, and let me know if you guys like it. I'm just going to start off, and then we'll get into Kolby, and then X will go ahead and give his takes on some trade targets. So for me, you're going to buy low on Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Brian Thomas Jr. It's pretty self-explanatory. All 3 of them been having really slow starts. I don't really see them picking up by any reason. 2 backup quarterbacks, BTJ, Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. Trevor Lawrence is kind of garbage. I finally said it. It sucks. It is what it is. He has all the tools. You should be able to get it done. The guys you're going to sell high on, Trey Benson. Colby mentioned it earlier. Really, really like Trey Benson. He had James Conner, number 1 running back on the Arizona Cardinals. He's RB1. He's going to have a lot of touches with James Conner being out. Sell high on him while you can. Rome Odunze, big booming Rome. He's been absolutely going off. I don't know if they keep that up all year, so I really think you should sell him high while you can. Get one of those top end receivers, top end running backs, and just do it because I'm sure you have other receivers on your team if you have Rome in like your flex spot. Last, you're going to sell high on Emeka Ibuka. Emeka is absolutely going to be going off the next couple of weeks with Mike Evans gone. Chris Godwin, I believe, is out for at least another week because he was placed on the IR. So he won't be back until week 5, just for clarification.
Mhm.
But with those boys being back, I don't know how much offense he'll be playing, but I don't know how much of the ball he's going to be getting. So because of that, I think if you can sell him high, do it. It might hurt in the meantime, but if you can get a good return on him, why not? Kolby, what are some of your trade targets?
All right, so my first trade target is going to be trade 4, and I do know that X is going to be saying trade away, but I think you should trade for Ashton Jinty. Now, let me explain why. He's a rookie, all right? Do we really expect rookies to come in the first 3 weeks, no matter who they are, and just absolutely dominate unless they're Saquon Barkley? I mean, I'm buying Jinty, and some people you could trade. You could trade ETN, which is one of my trade away people. You can trade away ETN for Jinty. I'm sure there's some trades out there. I've seen a lot of trades for some running backs that have been going off for rookie running backs. Another rookie running back, Trevion Henderson. I don't know if you guys been seeing what's going on with Ramondre fumbling the ball, saying like, well, if I can't handle the ball, I have no value. They don't need me. Like I don't think that's very good. I think it's Henderson time, and I have him everywhere. I've been sitting and just waiting. Another guy, Hampton, I drafted him everywhere. I'm just sitting on him, and look what happened. Finally got the whole entire backfield to himself. He did great. And then another guy I'm buying low on is Neighbors. I think there might be some people that are kind of scared of Jackson Dart, and I don't think I'm that scared. I think that he knows his wide receiver. He knows that how good he is, and he's going to give him the ball, and they're going to run the ball a little bit, doesn't play action, and get to Neighbors. And I believe that's all my takeaways. I'll have some more after this next week for sure.
All right, X. I'm going to give you the floor. This is your platform. This is your section.
Let's go, boys.
You are the trade king. Even though I don't know if you've made any trades yet this year, but go ahead.
Everybody's being picky.
I know, me too. All right, let's know what you got. What do you got for us?
So trading away, you're going to trade away Justin Jefferson. Trade him away simply based off a name. Trade him away because people, for some reason, just think Justin Jefferson has got to be amazing, even though he's got a quarterback that's not even sure that has ever even played football. I don't know. He doesn't even know what sport he's playing. So Justin Jefferson right now is going to do absolute garbage. Just trade him away right now. Get somebody good, maybe like Puka or something like that. I don't know. Just
wild. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. That's wild. That's wild.
Then you're going to trade away Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty hasn't really done enough. I understand. It's only been 3 games. But right now, as me and especially Rod were even saying at the beginning of the year, you should not be drafting this dude number 1. You should, if you did that, shame on you, and you get everything that you got coming right now, 100%. So if you were one of those people, trade him away now. Try and pick up, a lot of the other guys that Kolby and Rod mentioned. You got Trey Benson, you got Henderson. Try and get those guys for Genty. Hopefully someone will pick them up and maybe buy into whatever Genty's got going on. You're going to trade away Scary Terry. Terry McLaurin. He's not doing anything, even with Jaden Daniels being back. I know a lot of people are really, really like, Scary Terry always picks it up when it matters in playoffs and this and that. Great. Use that to your advantage. Have people sell him like that. Let people buy him for that. People will run off that. That's going to be good. You're going to be able to pick up a lot of good depth and possibly even a number 1 advocate. You are going to trade away Josh Jacobs. Why are you going to trade away Josh Jacobs? It's because Green Bay's offense right now is absolute garbage. They are not doing what they should be doing. Their wide receivers are a mess. Their O-line can't block to save Jordan Love's life at all. Josh Jacobs is only good in a PPR format, which right now he's only averaging in the teens of points. Use that to your advantage. A lot of people just in the same aspect as Scary Terry use him to get people to buy in on what he'll do down the road. Next, trade away A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown has had garbage first games. He's just coming off a good game. Use that to your advantage. Try and trade him away right now. See if you can get anybody else. A.J. Brown is notorious for getting injured, so expect him to get injured here soon. Chase Brown. Trade that dude away. There's nothing going on in Cincinnati right now, so try and get the best value that you can. The sooner you trade these people away, the better, because the longer they go with these bad points, it's only just going to drop the value and you're not going to be able to really get refunded for how you drafted them. Always something to think about. Whenever, just a little side note, if you're trading away, you're always trading away on a high. Don't ever trade away after some guy gets 5 points. That will be used against you. Trade away when they are high scoring. They have 2 great games back to back. Trade, boys. Get that boy out of there because you know it's not going to last. Now, who you're trading for? You're trading for Derrick Henry. You're now doing the opposite of away, right? You're trading when people are on lows. Derrick Henry, as the season goes on, builds up more steam. Everybody else gets tired. Henry does not. He is having a fumbling problem right now, which is fantastic for you to buy him. Get him right now, knowing that he's fumbling, knowing that he's barely even getting close to 20 points. Buy him while you can. Just get him. Trust me. Come playoff time, he's going to be and do wonders for you. Najigba, that's who you're going to be trying to trade for. Najigba right now, he's running off a high, so this one just might be a little bit pricey for you. But he will pay off over time. Right now is the good time. Najigba is the guy I'm expecting you to trade 2 players for to get the one. That's what I'm expecting in his price range. You're going to probably need like a mid-tier guy and probably a superstar. Honestly, probably a superstar wide receiver, and you're going to get some mid-tier, either running back or wide receiver, depending on what that other individual needs. Give them depth. Last one, Davante Adams. Davante Adams hasn't been doing a whole lot, but he's been getting high teens. Use that to your advantage. He's not breaking into the 20s just yet, but you can see that chemistry starting. Get him now. Get him while he's on a lower market, and he will 100% pan out for you. Trade him, get him while he's low. You could probably trade away a high tier right now player for him, and that would probably be about an even trade about who it would be. You could maybe trade a high tier and maybe a low tier, like depth second string running back. Maybe they got somebody that you can give a handcuff for. Might entice them a little bit more to trade for him. But right now, Davante Adams is who you should be looking for.
All right, guys, that's our trade targets for the week, or just in general, leading up to week 4. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, please let us know on the bottom or hit us up on our social media, and we'll go ahead and address those for you guys. All right, next we're going to get into some week 4 football bets. All right, week 4 football bets, we're looking at money line, over under, and spread. First game of the week, we got Seattle Seahawks favored by 1.5 points versus Arizona Cardinals on Thursday Night Football. This should be good as a divisional game. Finally, something good on Thursday Night Football. Ooh, this is going to be tough. I think I'm taking Seahawks at minus 1.5 only because James Conner is gone and Marvin Harrison does have a fumbling problem, or not a fumbling, God, I can't even talk. Butterfingers.
Yeah.
CD Lamb Jr., thank you. Valdez Scantling for those from like last year and a couple years ago on the Packers. The total's 43.5. I'm taking the under on that. I never trust divisional games like that, especially in the NFC West. And I do think it is going to be very low scoring. 2 very good defenses.
I agree with you. I agree.
Kolby?
Agree 100%.
All right.
Here we go, boys. 1-0. Let's go.
We're starting it off like last time. All right, next game we got Sunday morning game. I believe this is in somewhere. Is this the one that's in Ireland?
Germany.
Does anybody know?
Germany, maybe?
Is that Ireland
Germany.
or Germany? I think it's Germany, yeah.
Might be Germany. All right, next game we got Germany. It's 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. That is early, boys. We got Minnesota Vikings at minus 2.5 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one. I will say this is a tough one because Vikings have backup at Carson Wentz. Their defenses are playing good, but the Steelers did beat New England Patriots last week, and people weren't, didn't think they would. And I don't know, man. I think for me, I would stay away from this, but if I had to pick, I'm taking Steelers at plus 2.5. I just think Aaron Rodgers gets it done. The total, I'm probably going to go under on it, though.
I agree, 100%.
I'm going to go with the complete opposite. I'm taking the Vikings. I'm taking the over. Old man Wentz looked good. He looked good. Man. Come on, you have to admit, he looked pretty dang good. It's almost like they should play him the rest of the year. He looked pretty good. Come on.
I think someone needs to trade.
That first drive was insane. Oh, my gosh. I could not get over it. I was like, jaw to the floor. The dude's insane.
I think they need to trade for Kirko Chains, bro. I think that boy needs an opportunity somewhere.
Does.
But we'll see. That's a hot take for sure. I think that's fair too. Very fair.
Yeah.
Next game, we got New Orleans Saints versus Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by minus 15.5. I think that's the biggest spread we've seen this year. I don't think we've seen a spread that high. I wonder if it's a trap though. So because I think it's a trap, because that's a lot of points, man. I don't know. I mean, Seattle did it, but Buffalo performs what their opponents are. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking plus 15.5 just because I think it might be like 10 points or something. I think that might be the trap, but I'm for sure taking the Bills to win that game. And the total 47.5, I am going to take the under because I just don't think the Saints offense has enough offensive force to generate enough points in that game. X?
I agree with you. I'm kind of, what is it? 40? Yeah, it's 48. Yeah, I'll take the under. I'll take the under.
Kolby?
I'm taking the Bills by the spread. I personally think they came in Monday and said, "Holy shit, we almost lost to the Dolphins. There's no way we're stomping the Saints this week." That's just, I think that'd be my mentality if I was the Bills. Like, hey, the league kind of thinks like we're kind of washed a little bit. Maybe we should go and just absolutely just destroy the Saints, which would be fun because I have Josh Allen everywhere. But I, I think that's their mentality. I personally think that's their mentality.
I mean, I would hope that's their mentality, but we've seen them time and time again play down to their opponents. So that's the only thing
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
worries me.
I agree.
But we will
I
see.
agree.
All right, next game we got the Chargers favored by 6.5 against the New York Giants. Even though, well, they're not playing in New York, they're playing in New Jersey. For those who don't know, it's in New Jersey. All right, but the Chargers favored by -6.5. I think that's easy money all day long for sure. New York Giants are starting Jackson Dart. I wouldn't even bat an eye on that. The total's 44.5 points. You know what? I'll take the over. I take the over on that. I think Chargers can get some points scored, and maybe Jackson Dart surprises us. That's the only reason why. X,
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Kolby.
I agree.
All right, that's two. I think that's the only second time we've agreed today. Next
Yeah.
game we got Commanders versus Falcons. Commanders are only favored by -2.5. The total's 44.5. So whether it's Jaden Daniels or Marcus Mariota, I don't think this is going to affect my decision. I'm taking Commanders at -2.5. I don't think the Falcons are very good. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points. But Marcus Mariota has proven that he can score points and be fantasy relevant. So I think I'm going to go over on the 44.5. I'm going to switch it up. Kolby, what do you got?
I agree with you.
X?
I agree.
Damn, I thought Kolby was just going to go off on one on me. So
No,
I was kind of giving the opportunity
no.
to go in.
I
All
pick
right.
and choose.
Next
Ooh,
game.
this is it right here, though.
Yeah, this is a good game. We got Philadelphia Eagles at -3.5 versus Tampa Bay. Ooh, I'm taking the Eagles at -3.5. The total's 43.5, so I'm gonna go over on that just because I think Baker is gonna be slinging the ball, and there is gonna be points scored. But yeah, I don't think the Bucks can get it done this week against the Eagles. Before I go to Kolby, because I think Colby's gonna have something hot to say. X, what do you think about this game?
I agree.
Kolby?
Now, if you've been watching this show since last year, when I first came on, I was very, very high on the Buccaneers. Had so many Bucks on my teams, and I absolutely just love Baker Mayfield. From Oklahoma, went to OU, obviously, and for some reason, I just had this really deep feeling that we're going to see a Browns-Packers game outcome in this game. I don't know why, but I always choose an upset every week, and last week was the Patriots, and they almost pulled it off, so I guess you can call it almost upset. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers in this one. And like I said, I'm going to stick to it if I'm wrong. Call me out if you want, but I think it's going to be a shootout. So I'm taking the Buccaneers in a shootout. It's
So you're
hot.
taking the Bucks at +3.5.
It's hot.
And what about
Yeah.
the total?
Yeah, it's going to go over. It's
Okay,
what is that? They're favored by
43.5.
yeah. 20 points each. I think that's
Okay.
doable.
All right, cool. Next game, we got Cleveland Browns versus Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by -8.5 points. I said this earlier and I'll say it again. I think this is a trap game just because Cleveland's defense is very good. Their offense is
Nice.
boo-boo skibbity toilet, as the kids say these days. But I don't know. I'm going to take Detroit at -8.5 because that's what the mind says, but my heart says that it might be a trap, so be aware of that. The total's 45.5. I'm going to take the under just because I think you got to take Cleveland Browns on the under all season long, honestly. I just don't. Cleveland's defense is something else, but I think the Lions do win the game regardless. So if you're going to bet on anything, take the money line. X,
I agree.
Colby.
I agree, but I'm taking the over just because we just saw Lamar and the Ravens put up 40 points on their head. So, man, obviously I'm very high on the Lions, so I'm going to take the over.
All right. Next game, we got Carolina versus New England. New England is favored by -5.5. So I will say, I think this game is going to be a lot closer than we think. I don't know why. Maybe this is just my gut telling me that. Maybe I'm just finally a believer in the Panthers for some reason, and it doesn't make sense. But that being said, I still think I'm going to take it. Patriots at -5.5. The total, I think I'm going to go over on it just because I think Drake May can score some touchdowns with Hunter Henry, and Carolina is going to probably just run it with Chuba Hubbard, as X said earlier. So, X, what do you got?
Honestly, this is my one. I'm going to say I'm going to go over. This one's going to be my wild one. I think these two weird teams are just going to do some weird stuff, and we're just going to see high scoring, dude. we're all going to be. This is just going to be a weird spectacle, and we're all just going to watch.
Kolby?
I agree with you, Rod.
All right.
100%.
Next game, Tennessee versus Houston Texans. Let me tell you, the Houston Texans look like crap. But who looks worse than the Houston Texans? Tennessee Titans offense.
The Titans. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just want to point it out because I like to make fun of X. X thought that the Titans were going to have like a top 15 pick this year, or a 15th mid-round pick in the draft.
Yeah.
I told him they were probably going to be top 5. We're kind of agreeing that they're going to be top 10. I probably won't leave that in here, but I just wanted to say it just so he knows again. All right. Houston Texans, it's favored by -6.5. I think that's easy money. I think it'll be close, but I just don't like Tennessee at all. Maybe they changed their mind with Daboll not calling plays now, like X told us earlier, but I don't like it. Total, I'm taking the under, dude. Both these offenses are trash. They're absolutely terrible. And I know it's very low. I just don't like it. It's not worth it for me. Kolby, I'll throw it to you this time. What do you think?
I'll agree with you on that one.
X?
I agree.
All right. Let's fly through these next couple games. We got Jacksonville versus San Francisco in Santa Clara. Niners are favored by -3.5. I'm taking the Niners only because I believe Brock Purdy is coming back this week. And I do think Juwan might be back as well. So even though they lost Bosa, Christian McCaffrey's still healthy. So I really think that they're able to handle them quite well. The total's 46.5, and I don't think so. I'm going under on that because I don't think Jacksonville Jaguars offense is very potent by any means. X?
Ooh. I'm going to actually go Jacksonville. I'm going to definitely go under though.
That's wild.
No. Bosa's
right.
going to make that difference, dude.
Okay, well, there's a guy named Huff and there's a guy named Williams. But anyways, Kolby, what do you got?
Take the Niners and did you take the under or did you take the over?
I took the under.
Okay, I'll take the under too. Yep.
All right. Next game. Colts versus Rams. Rams are favored by -. What happened?
Oh, I was saying to this game. Colts are undefeated.
Yeah, we got Colts versus Rams. Rams are favored by -3.5. Yep. This is a trap. Let me tell you, this is a trap. The Colts defense, I don't know what the hell's been waking up in them, but they've been playing good. And Indiana Jones over there, he ain't Danny Dimes no more, but brother, he's Indiana Jones. That boy is playing. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was just New York. I mean, Saquon did it. Saquon was great, but he went to the Eagles and won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I don't know. This is going to be tough. This is also a trap game. I'm just going to go with the Rams because I think they have an overall better team on paper. I'm taking them at -3.5, but the total's 49.5. I think that's a little too high just because I think their defenses are really good. So I'm taking the under on that. X?
I agree.
Kolby?
I agree. 100%.
Oh, shit. All right. Next game, Chicago versus Raiders. Bears are favored by -1.5. I'm going to get into it a little bit later, how I feel about the Raiders, but they've been pretty bad. Let's call a spade a spade. I think I like Bears at -1.5. They've shown that they can do good against bad defenses, a.k.a. the game against the Cowboys last week. The total's 48.5, and I'm going to go over because I think this will be really high scoring considering what we saw from both of these teams last week. X?
I agree, but I'm going to go under.
Kolby?
The Bears and the over.
All right. Next game, we got Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City. Man, this would have been a good Monday night game. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens are favored by -2.5 versus the Chiefs. The total is 49.5. I don't know why. I think the Ravens are better this year, but I think I'm taking Kansas City at +2.5. The Ravens have somehow, every game, have found a way to lose, whether it's Derrick Henry fumble or something. And I think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce get it done. They're playing at home. The total's 49.5, though. I'm going to say under, but I can see the over as well, just because, I mean, the Ravens are a high-powered offense, but I'm going to take the under on that. X?
I am going to go with the Ravens. And I kind of I'm going to go under.
Kolby?
I agree with X. And I do want to point out, if you haven't noticed yet, at around 7:30 or 8 p.m. Sunday after this game, one of these two teams will be 1-3, which is insane.
That's wild.
It's insane to think about.
That's
Wow,
wild.
man.
All right. Next game, Sunday Night Football. Now, this is a game, let me tell you. My household, my wife loves the Packers, and I hate the Dallas Cowboys. So this is great. Our boy Angel, I know he's listening, so this is for him. He'll probably listen to this at work. Cowboys are terrible. All right. We know they're trash. Stephen A makes fun of them. Everyone makes fun of them. The Packers are only favored by -6.5, and I'm taking that all day. I think that's easy money. Cowboys defense is atrocious. Deron Bland's hurt. Diggs is hurt. Kenny Clark's hurt. All these guys are hurt. CeeDee Lamb's hurt. I mean, I just don't think they're going to be able to get it done. The total is 47.5. I'm going to go the over just because Dallas does have a good offense, regardless if CeeDee's there or not, because they still got George Pickens and Javonte Williams and Jake Ferguson, as Kolby mentioned last week and this week. But yeah, I just don't. I don't think Cowboys can get that done. X, what do you got for Packers versus Cowboys?
I agree with you.
Kolby?
I agree with you.
Unfortunately, I agree with you.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're a Dallas fan.
It's all right, dude. I had to go. I'm going to be going against the Titans almost all year, so at least there'll be chances where you could be like, "Nah, dude,
Hopefully.
Dallas has got this." Yeah, I can't.
It sounds like Kolby is not going to renew his contract this year and is going to be looking for a new team. So
Yeah, I'm currently holding out.
All right. Monday Night Football. Oh, we got two games this week. We got New York Jets versus Miami. Miami's favorite by -2.5. I don't know. I'm going to be real. I don't know because I don't know if Justin Fields is playing or Tyrod's playing. I think if Justin Fields is playing, I can see there's an argument with the Jets. But with the way it is now, I don't think Justin Fields is going to play. So I'm taking Miami at -2.5, and the total is 44.5, and I think we're going to go under on that. X?
I agree.
Kolby?
I agree as well.
All right, last game. We got Bengals versus Broncos. Broncos are favored by -7.5. Man, all these late games for all you guys East Coasters and Mountain Timers, man. These are running late. Broncos is -7.5. I think I got to take that. Bengals defense is trash. Their offense is trash. They got to figure out somebody. They need to probably trade for Kirk Cousins. I don't know. They need to do something at this point. I think they need to trade Trey Henderson to the Niners, but that's neither here nor there. But -7.5 Broncos, easy money, great defense, very good offense. Total's 44.5. I think I'm going to take the under only because that defense of the Broncos is so good and the Bengals weren't able to do it last week and score very many points. So I see going on the under very plausible. X?
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Kolby?
I'll take the Broncos, but Bo Nick's my quarterback starter this week, so I think they're going to pile some points on, and the Bengals maybe hopefully score 2 touchdowns. And if the Broncos put up at least 3 or 4 touchdowns, that puts it on the over, maybe a pick 6 or 2 or 3 pick 6s. So I'd say I'll take the over on it.
Speaking like someone who has the Broncos defense this week. All right, NFL football news. So I'm going to go over the teams that are 3-0 right now. All right. And this might surprise you or might not. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Chargers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, San Francisco 49ers. Very ugly, by the way. I don't think they should have been 3-0. And the Indianapolis Colts because of Indiana Jones. Yeah, very surprising. I think those 3 teams for sure, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, and Colts, I think surprised me the most, not getting a loss there. But just wanted to mention those are the 6 teams that are currently 3-0 and undefeated currently. This week, like we talked about, there's been injuries and more injuries. I don't know what's going on with teams' athletic staff or what the hell's happening. If it's turf, grass, shoes, cleats, I don't know. Something's happening. All these boys are getting hurt. NFL needs to look into it and get it handled. That's kind of all I just wanted to talk about that, just because it's just wild how many people are getting hurt every week. I can't believe it. Now, this is something I really want to talk about. The Raiders O-line is still garbage. They will be garbage. They will forever be garbage. And I can't believe that they drafted a number 1 running back without a line. And the Cowboys defense is really bad. They lost to the Bears. The Bears were winless until last week. And I think the downfall of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys should really be studied in the history books, if I don't say so myself. All right. I got a question for you guys. Like, what is more embarrassing for you guys, in your opinion? The Rams blowing a 19-point lead to the Eagles and losing on a blocked field goal for a touchdown to end the game, or the Packers losing to the Browns by a blocked field goal kick? X, go first.
Rams. The fact that you block a field goal, okay, that's already horrible in itself. But then the fact that you're able to run it back, the fuck are we doing?
And they were up. They were already going to win, and then just this disrespect. He ran it all the way back just to pad the stats a little bit.
Right.
X, do you have anything to say to Bebo? Our resident Rams fan that's not on the show today. I think he can really use some words from you, some words of encouragement.
Some words of encouragement. I mean, his team beat mine. That's about the only thing that he could put on his mantle. Really. Whooped his ass in fantasy. Let him know who Papa is. So,
Okay.
Just let him know.
I was really hoping you'd just go in on him and just squish him, but okay.
No.
That's what I was looking for.
I found out, dude.
I was looking for the content. I was looking for the content, not gonna lie.
I found out he's softer than one ply, so I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful.
No.
Gotta be careful.
We're leaving that in, boys. All right, Kolby, what's your take on the Rams and Eagles and Packers and Browns situation? Which one, in your opinion, is more embarrassing?
I think for the Rams, I think they know that they can beat them, and I think that's easily fixable. And I'd say the Packers losing to the Browns, and for one, it's embarrassing to the Packers because they should have won, and now they're just kind of screws up there. They could have went undefeated and all that stuff, but also it's embarrassing for the Browns because they know they should have lost that game, and now they're acting like they're going to the Super Bowl, which is very embarrassing. So I think it's embarrassing for both teams. Like, they know you should have won that game, you did, and now you're gonna go to the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. Like, come on, like it's not gonna happen. But yeah, that's my take on it. I think the Browns and Packers game is more embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, and my wife's gonna freaking kill me. I was like, I'm surprised she's not listening right now by the door. The Packers losing the Browns is pretty embarrassing. I mean, I think the Browns offense is probably one of the worst offenses in the league. And I mean, it was a close game, but I don't think it even should have been close. And so I think that's what mostly of it is for me. The Rams and Eagles could have went either way. The Rams started off strong, so it sucks that they kind of gave out at the end. But it's the Eagles. It's the Super Bowl reigning champs. I can't really take a whole lot away from them. At least they didn't lose to like the Falcons or something, right?
Right.
So I think that's kind of more of my take on that. All right, last one I got for you guys, and it's going to be more of like I guess I'll do a question. Looking back on week one or pre-week one of the Micah Parsons trade, there's fans online because we make the memes and we see the comments and people talk shit on both sides. Cowboy fans believe that they won that trade with Micah. Green Bay fans are in the stands saying thank you, Jerry Jones, for trading Micah Parsons. In retrospect, considering this week's blowout and the fact that the Cowboys literally lost to the Bears, they were winless. Their defense is hurt, atrocious. What couldn't they do in that game? Stop the pass. What is Micah good at? Pass rushing. So I guess what I'm asking is, who won that trade? In your opinion, we'll start with Kolby this time.
Well, I think they both won the trade. To be completely honest, a little bit of a hot take here. The Packers won the trade because they got Micah Parsons. Cowboys won the trade because even if they still had Micah Parsons, they still be asked because all their defense gets injured every single year. CD gets injured. Dax end up getting injured. And now they're just going to tank for Arch Manning. Like, they're going to have a worse record than the Saints and take Arch Manning, who Jerry Jones is going to ruin his career. So, like, they both won. I mean, the Cowboys still going to lose no matter what because Jerry Jones is going to ruin whoever quarterback they draft this next year.
I agree.
But yeah, you can tell I'm on the brink of walking out of the locker room and putting on a Lions jersey for life or something because yeah, it's getting pretty annoying. Getting pretty annoying.
X, what do you think?
So, like, I agree with what Kolby said. It's kind of they both won and they both. Well, I mean, I guess if that's going to be the case, then technically the Packers won because just for the simple fact that The Cowboys lost in the sense that now Jerry Jones, by trading him away, now honestly, I didn't think it was going to be this detrimental, but it obviously shows that it was. By him trading him away, Jerry Jones literally took a playoff team and put them into a rebuild. And it's the craziest thing, just from one player leaving. And you as this is where I believe that owners should have no part in anything football. I understand there are other organizations where their owners are very involved. You know, like even now you have the Colts, right? One of the Colts, Jim Irsay's daughters, is on the field with the playset, with the call sheet. She's listening to everything. She just can't say anything. I understand it from the aspect that if you own the team, you should be heavily involved. Here's the problem. You should be heavily involved with the finance portion of it, not the day-to-day operations. That's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is to supply money. Your job is, you've never played football. You might have watched it, you might have coached it, but you've never played it or coached at this level. So you know nothing. Jerry Jones knows nothing. Jerry Jones is just like Al Davis was. He's a dying breed, bro. The old school mentality's gone.
Are you sure you're not a Cowboys fan?
Smash mouth
Are you sure? I think he's a Cowboys fan. You sure?
No, I'm definitely not. It's just I see stupidity. I just see stupidity, and I'm just calling, as Rod would say, a spade a spade. But it's absolutely atrocious. Like, I've never liked Jerry Jones for the simple fact that that dude just won't let people do their job. And he tries to save a dime every single time he does anything. That's why he doesn't have a GM, because he doesn't want to pay a GM. You're not going to have a president of players like every other organization does, because you want to save a dime. You want to save a dime, and then you don't want to play, and then you don't want to pay your players? Like, what are you doing, dude?
Well, that's a good segue into what I was going to say, is that
that's crazy.
Jerry Jones, you're right. Jerry Jones literally brought back Ezekiel Elliott because he was dead money for them. So he brought them back last year because he was going to pay him anyways. And I think that's the biggest, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but that's like one of the biggest things that I've noticed from them is that literally the Packers won this trade. And I don't think that's hands down, and I'll kind of get into it a little bit as well. But I think the Cowboys lost as soon as they didn't extend Micah last season or at the end of last season. I think 100%. That's when they lost immediately.
And that just,
because
it goes to the point of just that this is what happens when the guy who handles the finances and the money gets involved with on-set production. This is what happens when the money starts to get involved in the day-to-day operations. And so you end up screwing up the entire operation, because now you just put your entire team, all of your fans who you lied to, you just put them all back in a rebuild. A playoff caliber team. You already had a problem with your team not staying healthy. You didn't fire your fucking training staff, who should have been fired, to get your team to stay healthy. All in all, the dude just needs to be an owner. You just need to handle the finances, promote your business, and carry on. Let the line staff do their job. Let the coaches do their job. Hire a GM. Let your GM do their job. Let the president of the players do their job. Let everybody do their job. And sit back with your billions and enjoy life. All you got to do.
Yeah.
All you got to do.
I agree.
And I feel bad. Honestly, I feel bad for Cowboys fans that they literally had to watch their owner put them in a rebuild. Like that sucks. That horribly sucks. And as a Titans fan, I've been a part of it. I watched Mike Vrabel get fired. I'm in the same boat. So that's why I'm so passionate. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I'm passionate because I understand what it feels like.
Might be a little closet is what we're seeing. A little closet Cowboys fan coming out there.
That's what I'm thinking.
But I think the Packers won this trade. The Cowboys lost as soon as the offseason hit. They didn't re-sign Micah Parsons. And I'll tell you what, they learned really quickly because they started re-signing all their guys, Ron Bland, some of their offensive linemen.
Weird how that works.
You sure went up and paid these guys as soon as Micah left because you didn't want that to happen again. But Jerry Jones' worst enemy is Jerry Jones, and I think a lot of that has to do with control. And he wants to do backdoor deals, and he wants to do handshake deals, and that's not the way that the NFL works, and the NFL Players Association works with these type of deals. I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to get anything out of their 2 first-round picks that are going to be like picks 28 to 32. I don't think it was worth trading an all-star caliber player in his prime, I would argue, at how old is he? 25, 26 years old.
Because guess who makes those decisions? It's not the head coach. It's the GM and the president of the players.
Right.
Which they don't have, which means it's Jerry Jones.
Right. And I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think that because of that, like this Sunday night, like the game is going to prove, like, I think it's going to be very one-sided. I think, like I said, I had Micah getting over 1.5 sacks on Sunday night. And I think the Packers are absolutely going to embarrass the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas. And I know, X, you might feel bad for Cowboy fans, but I sure as hell don't feel bad for Cowboy fans because it makes for great content, and I get to make all kinds of memes, and I'm happy. So I can't wait for Sunday night.
No, you're killing me. No, freaking Cowboys. It's just annoying, man.
I feel
it's
you.
Time.
It's the life out of me.
Bro, it's time. It's time, bro.
Probably want to watch the games.
Renounce your Cowboys fandom and become a Lions fan. Do it on air, dude. It's time. Just walk away. Walk away while you can.
Don't do it. Stand firm, dude. Stand strong.
He's already got the jersey on, dude.
Stand strong, dude.
Do it.
I'm a Monty fan. I have 2 teams I'm gonna pick, and it's not because one of them's 3-0. I have receipts from last year. I was saying I really like the Buccaneers, and so it's either gonna be them or the Lions. And
but would you like the Bucs if Baker wasn't there? That's the real question.
No, probably not.
Right. So I think you have your answer.
Honestly, bro, I'm in the same boat as you. I like the Ravens because Henry's there, and I like the Patriots because Vrabel's there.
I think you guys both need to reconsider and pick a new team. That's what I think.
I'm going to still stay because I'm too cheap, and I already invested in jerseys and
the players that are no longer even on your team anymore. It's okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, everybody, thanks for sticking around. I know this was a longer episode, but we went through a lot of stuff. If you guys like the new trades segment that we put together, please let us know in the comments. I think that was a lot of fun, and I think with the fantasy season as it starts ramping up and as we get towards that trade deadline, which is around like Thanksgiving time, I think is when usually the trade deadlines are set, it's going to be utterly important that if you need to make some trades and maybe give up some players, you got to do it now before it gets too late. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. You can check us out on all our social media platforms. We're big on Instagram, TikTok, obviously here on YouTube. You can go to our Facebook. And like I said at the beginning of this, we are now YouTube partners. We have memberships. If you want to be a part of the community, please go ahead and sign up. And we're going to make it worth your while one way or another, whether it's through fantasy football advice. I thought about doing some giveaways of some merch, whatever it is. We'll be doing that even past the football season into the MMA and boxing as well. Look out for our weekly rankings as well as our waiver wires. I know we're going to work better on getting them out a little earlier, but we'll be posting our waiver wires for the week. And also we'll be posting our weekly rankings at quarterback, running back, receiver, and tight end. And you can check those out on our Instagram and on our Facebook. And I will also post those to our TikTok. Boys, thanks for coming on. I know we kind of went a little while, but this was fun. And until next time, everybody, peace.
Later.